little deeper on addiction pills. And we're super excited to discuss the topic of tonight. Amen.
Amen.
But first and foremost, let us thank the person of the Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit! And we'd like to thank our highly esteemed Papa, Prophet O.C. King. Amen. And we want to thank all of you in the audience, all of you in our social media platforms. Thank you for allowing us to walk into your homes today.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have a great time.
Yes, sir. Amen.
Okay, we're just, check you guys out.
You look nice too, though. Yeah. That's my pastor.
Amen. That's fantastic. Amen. But with that said, today's topic is a little touchy. And for many of us, we may relate to it. This specific pill actually has a diagnosis to it.
Oh.
Man.
Yes, it does. Amen. And this pill is something that erupts in one, kind of.
Oh.
They have initials for it. They call it IED.
IED.
Intermittent explosive disorder.
Whoa.
That is what our pill of the week is.
Whoa.
Well, first, I think we have to educate you guys on
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. So one thing is a behavioral disorder. Okay? It's a behavioral disorder that deals with rage and anger.
Okay.
It's one who has explosive outbursts of rage and anger without any reason.
Wow.
So just out of nowhere, it could be the smallest thing, like spilled milk. Woo! Outburst. Fire. Not regular, oh, you spilled my milk. No, it's, you spilled my milk. It could be to that level.
Yeah.
And there are many who have been diagnosed with it. Actually, the statistics say that it's 7% of the United States who are diagnosed with this IED.
IED.
Which is 11 to 18 million Americans.
Whoa.
So what you can tell from that is that it really is closer than you think. It really is closer than you think. Right.
Amen.
So one thing is that this specific disorder relates actually to the frontal part of your brain. It deals with the neurotransmitter serotonin. It deals with self-control. So these people have an outburst of feeling where they can't control themselves. To the point that when they first get into these situations, because they relate to anger or outbursts that actually relate on animals, on objects, on people, where they feel the need to rage at them.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So one thing's for sure is that it comes to in a form of aggression, aggressive behavior, where they pull and they fight and they push to that limit. And it's prevalent. It actually is prevalent in the age groups of 15 to 35. That's the majority of us in here.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. So it's closer than you think, like we said. It's closer than you think. But what takes people to that level?
Honestly.
We're going to talk about it today because I can guess that a lot of people here can say they've been angry one time, a couple of times.
Once, twice, maybe. Yeah.
Twice, a couple of times.
Yeah.
You know, but what differentiates that anger, then that rage, then that level where one can say they need to be diagnosed with such a thing? That's what we'll find out. Well, let's tell you how it even acts out first off, okay?
Okay.
So this is how it usually acts out. The person has tension within themselves. A tension built up to the point that when they finally blow, the aftermath brings them relief.
Yes, it felt good.
But one thing we want to tell you is that Amen.
Amen.
It does feel good for them. But the thing is that when they first do it, it's not premeditated. It's not something that they've come, oh, I'm gonna just bust this person's face open. No, it's something actually that's what they call it, explosive. It comes out of nowhere.
Wow.
It comes out of nowhere. You could just be eating a poop.
What?
Explosive.
Dang.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem too weird though.
True.
So it's that explosive form. At the end of it, like we said, there's a relief. There's a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
But they actually do feel remorseful. There's a guilt that comes behind it. It's not a desire to actually do that. It's not an intention, like we told you, it's not premeditated. So what brings one to that level? Because if you think about it, the actual age group, that's a pretty crucial age range in the life of someone who's growing up. 15 to 35,
Yeah.
they said for young guys it was about 19 for young men it's 15, for young women it's 19, where these episodes start to occur in one's life. That's about end of high school,
True.
getting close to college.
Yeah.
But what's the difference between that rage and then that anger? And is it really bad to sometimes be angry at people? Not knowing that this may be the cause. And we're going to actually give you a background of where many of these people are coming from, what their background is like. Like we said, it's closer than you think.
Yes,
And we're
sir.
digging deeper. Amen. Amen. A background look of these people. A background look is that a lot of these people have come from homes where they saw that same form of aggression.
True.
Where they seen it and they're related. So it's almost like a copycat.
Yeah.
You see what you see and you do.
True.
So in those cases, a lot of these patients, at the end of the day, they happen to be males. And they find them both in schools. They find them, they bring them to their attention at juvenile stations.
Mm-hmm.
In those situations, they bring it to that attention where they're growing up and being raised in homes to the level where they exhibit things in which they see, not knowing there's an error to it. But how do you even change that view? So we want some insight from the audience.
Amen.
Amen. So we like some insight from the audience because, like we said, it's called intermittent explosive disorder. And one thing, it's a form of rage and aggression. It's like we said, it doesn't seem too far. So has anybody ever been to that place of rage or aggression? Amen. Amen.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Amen.
You look excellent, sir.
I have a question / comment. I think.
Sure.
So for such individuals diagnosed, the question I begin to have is, since you say it's not premeditated, but yeah, I'm not familiar with people. Okay, I use it this way. I guess my comment was, I think maybe parents, maybe they can go do some things in the office, some things build up, co-workers spill tea, boss yells, and then all of a sudden go home and then one little thing the child does explode. That's kind of the first example I can think of. But yet again, is that exploding occurring because it's the child? Because if it was, let's say, a police officer, I don't think they just go nuts. If it was, a 6'6" bodybuilder, I don't think they just go nuts. So then I begin to wonder, is it really not premeditated? Does that make sense?
A fact that we didn't relate to you guys is that it happens for these type of people probably like twice a month. Okay? So it's something, I don't want to say it's not premeditated, but there's a reoccurrence of the situation. You know what I'm saying? So maybe a parent has a situation with their office, with their boss. That doesn't happen twice a month. It doesn't happen as often.
Yeah.
It comes once in a while, therefore. And another thing, the time space. The time space is actually, they said the max that it usually is a 30-minute outburst, and then it just disappears. That's the fact of the matter. It doesn't go like for example, if you use the example you use, usually maybe someone comes home from a raging day at work, so they come home and they lay it on people. It usually isn't for an hour, they're just going off. Sometimes it's just for a day, where they're just upset, don't talk to me, But for these people, it's as if they live it and they're like, what happened? Relief. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing where you are consciously, what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Explosive.
But I'm still wondering, how far does this go? Even just for a day, to say they don't pick and choose, it's like anyone can get it. Like each boss can get it, the crazy guy on the street can get it, the drug dealer in the corner can get it, anyone can get it. You understand where
I don't think there's an intention that's directed to a specific person.
Okay.
Like you said, it could just be outside built up tension. Like we explain certain things biologically, therefore. So it's not something like, oh, I've had problems with you, now I finally meet you. Punch, that's premeditated. You know what I'm saying? It could just be on the bus. It's just a rage and aggression, and you need to release this tension somehow.
Oh, it's like nothing really caused it, it's just like the moment just began.
Exactly, that's why it says explosive. It's an outburst.
So what occurs in this rage? They just start flipping on everyone on the bus? What does the final product look like? I'm beginning to wonder.
Okay, so there's a physical abuse or verbal abuse that actually occurs.
Okay.
Okay? It could be both physical or verbal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it may occur in just pounding someone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm using an example.
I hear you.
It could just be a pounding of someone, you know? And then when there finally is a release,
Yeah.
they feel relieved. It's not something. This is something we're gonna explain even as we continue on. We hear more comments. You definitely hear more about it.
I'm gonna let others get comments, but from that standpoint, I always assumed really for men, it's like, man, this guy's just crazy, or he's bipolar maybe. And for the lady, she's probably on that monthly cycle. Long I'm gonna say how most people tend to assume. I never really like heard about it. Knew how this is introduced, but maybe some others have comments or there's more.
Well, definitely, you'll definitely get your answer, even if not here, and ask the prophet.
Ooh.
Amen. 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 We have another comment? Amen.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Amen.
To me, it seems like everybody's trying to put a label on this, right?
Yeah.
It's rage, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
But even when you're even describing how the rage comes and then the aftermath of it, both the victim and the perpetrator in a sense, it sounds like it's spiritual. Can it be a demon possibly? Or maybe a unclean spirit that's causing that person to have that rage?
Prophets.
Well, like I said, we're definitely gonna ask the prophet.
For me
That's a great question to
personally,
pose.
it sounds like that's what it is.
There's a
Sounds
lot
like
of
some
factors
type
that
of
do
activity going on in that person.
Granted, which it makes sense, because even the actions of it is unexplainable, right?
Exactly.
There doesn't seem to be an explanation to the explanation.
And sometimes even when you question the person, they don't even realize why they even got to that level.
That's the greatest thing. Like you said, Prophet Sophie, even when you see them, when you ask them what just occurred, they probably don't know, even they can't collect where it started and how it ended. Amen.
I have another question.
Yes.
Does this affect more women or men?
It actually affects more males.
What?
It actually affects more males. It's prevalent in more males. We've actually read a couple of studies relating to cases that dealt with young males, like we said, juvenile stations, where they related them and sent them to those places because of a rage that they had no control over. So we would actually like to have a comment from our doctor. Amen.
Thank you. I mean, it's pretty interesting
Yes.
what you just talked about, and a lot of things in medicine we don't have a complete hold of yet, and the definitions are coming up every day. I mean, in psychiatry, I will tell people psychiatry is just like space. It's boundless, and for you to completely unravel what's in space, then it's like knowing the completeness of God, which is impossible.
Yes.
So also is our mind and the mind of a man. So it's impossible. So we try to explain a lot of things as they go on. I mean, IED is one of it. I mean, autism is new, and autism spectrum, and Asperger's, and so many other things. We talk about personality types, different personality types. I mean, it's all chemicals and physiological and environmental factors that affect how we behave, and of course, spiritual factors, along with it. We live in an age now where we have an explosion of addiction, drug use. I mean, if you have a child whose mother used drugs and was strung out on drugs, we have kids who were born high. So when those kids come up and grow up, and in the 60s they were very few, and now we have more and more. So they're gonna come up with different definitions or different personality types that exhibit some of all those things.
Yes.
And it's going to affect them, you know, and environment where they live, socioeconomic status,
Yes, sir.
you know, and all that. So,
Absolutely.
and then, you know, put a little twist on it also. We have seizure types. There's what they call absence seizures, which is a child stays. Usually girls, they just stir in space, and until you
Tap
wake
them.
them or tap
Yes,
them
sir.
up, they have no idea.
Wow.
So is that an opposite of IED? So
That's
something
very
to think about.
interesting.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
So is that person going through seizures also?
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
So now we have
For sure.
EEGs and different types of MRIs
Yes,
and
sir.
other things that would combine electrophysiology and electrical impulses. We'll get to know more and know
Yes,
these
sir.
things and define them better.
Amen.
Wow.
Amen. Wow, that was great insight. So many golden comments in there. And even as he said, it doesn't only deal with the biological, there's a physical aspect of it, there's the neurological, so many things are in it, you know? And even, there was something that you said in there, which there is a statistic that deals with it. They said that people who are more prone to they either have personality disorders, they either have 2 or more substance abuses, they're more than likely to actually be in this same sector of IED, where they can correlate them in that situation. So are they just people from various other disorders that they put into one to explain? I want to know. I definitely want to know. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. We have another beautiful card. Thank you so much, sir. Amen. Amen. I like your shirt.
That was me when I was a child. I used to just like get mad and just beat up my sister for like no reason. Like sometimes I'll just take her food and then like I'll run, I'll eat it, put the plate in front of her. After that, like I didn't even know what that was. Like I would just like beat her, and then sometimes I would even beat my brother. And like the weight of my hand was like very heavy. So like you just like end up beating, like you just get so angry like for no reason, and I never knew why.
Wow. Well, we're gonna find out. 'Cause, you know, I want to know but could it just be like, you know, I'm just asking anyone, could it just be a really annoying sibling? Or is it just immense rage? Because I've done a couple of those things, but, like, you know, it really is that, you know? But thank you so much for your comment, Mom. We'll definitely figure it out and ask the proper. Amen. We have another beautiful comment in the audience. Amen.
Thank you, Holy Spirit. You look
Wow, you
gorgeous.
look excellent.
Okay, I want to come from a societal point
Okay.
where we can use psychology, and we can also go into one of my elements in degree, which is in social justice. And also, I also want to share a personal testimony in relations to this. I once was there, that child that always had the built up anger, because I was one, my mom even told me that, Eunice, you have to speak up more, because I was that child that when you do something to me, I won't say anything. First offense. Second offense, I won't say anything. Third offense, I won't say anything. Fourth offense, you better leave me alone. Because what's gonna come after, it wouldn't be out, it wouldn't be right. And it was so bad because the person wouldn't know. Because sometimes people can do things to other people without being aware of it. And they don't realize it until you tell them that I don't like what you're doing to me, because what you're doing to me, it makes me feel this way, it makes me feel that way. But being the fact that they don't know about it, they continuously do it. So what that does to me, it harbors anger, bitterness. And what I do is I rage. And then I say, okay, on December this, and that, you did this. On January this, and you did this. On February this, you did this. At this time, you did this. And the person's just looking at me like, oh my goodness, you just did. And I was like, yes. Because I gave you an opportunity to leave me alone the first time. You didn't get the message. The second time, you didn't get the message. The second time, the person didn't get the message. The third time, the person didn't get the message. Then you give them an eye, and they still didn't get the message. So the next time, either you verbally voice your opinion, or you physically voice your opinion. And it really got us into some heavy trouble, even with the law and everything, yes. So this topic really does hit home. Now, from the psychological aspect and the social justice aspect, when you watch a film by Jackson Katz, and it talks about masculinity. The reason why you'll find a lot of this, especially prominent in men, because society does not give men the upper hand to express themselves. Why? Because if they say that men express their emotions and their feelings, they're not manly. It strips them from their manhood. That's why you will not see a man verbally voice themselves that says that, I feel that you're hurting my feelings. Why? Because it dehumanizes them. It makes them more prone to the feminine side than the masculine side. And another thing about that also is this is a huge study, is a huge research. And the reason why it's definitely male, because what society, American society, has posed to men is that they should be the tough guys.
Exactly.
And that's actually what the film is called, Tough Guys, by Jackson Katz. It's a tremendous research. We have experts who actually go into this type of research, where they actually look at, it is a behavioral issue, and it's sad because this is what affects even relationship, where you see even men, even abuse women. Why? Because they see them. And you also see women who try to pose as equal, but yet in a way it also makes some women feel masculine to the extent that they have to now be the tough guy or gal, as they would say. So this is actually a societal dilemma. It's a societal dilemma which has also brought into the medical aspect. So now medicine doesn't know how to treat it. Why? Because it's a societal standpoint. So you have to treat society first before you try to treat it from the medical aspect. So that's the whole thing about it. So thank you, Holy Spirit. We'll cut it short there.
Amen. Thank you so much. Insight from our Dr. Pastor. Amen. So much insight. And like she said, it is a societal issue. When she related to an example, she said about manliness, masculinity, and that's why they even related it to being more prevalent with men. Because they said the idea of manliness, the idea of masculinity was skewed in the views of those in the world. So definitely in this segment, hold on to your questions, because in Ask the Prophet, we're super excited to get some answers. Amen. I don't know about you guys, I learned so much today. Now I want to know what the Holy Spirit thinks about IED, because I want to know really, what is the spiritual aspect of it? What does God think about this? Amen. Amen. So we all stand up, sit up tight, get ready for our next segment. And thank you for watching us on Addiction Pills. I'm Pastor Shishi. We'll see you next week. Amen.